for now. I would like to pass the mic on over to the sweet, sweet sounds of Texas, to the San Antonio Drift, to the man they call Yaboibig. Ian, our GM for tonight. Hey, Ian, what's up?
People's GM.
The People's GM.
The People's GM. Hey, everybody, I'm Ian, and I am everyone else. Wow, what an intro. I hope I don't biff it. Cool. Nerves are gone. Let's get into it. So.
Are they really, though?
No. Power, friends, is a funny thing. It's something that's measured across numerous metrics. Most people know that knowledge is power. The more that you know and the more that you learn, the more powerful you become, because maybe the more useful you are, or that knowledge can be turned into something dangerous or fun or even artistic. Power can also be measured in your physical strength. You know, we see it all the time online. People posting pictures at the gym, lifting large weights, whether it's for an aesthetic or just for the fact that they're trying to overcome something physically that mentally they just can't get past. It's funny because something in a word can be translated into a feeling, an emotion, even a physical trait that can cause so much good, but at the same time cause so much harm. Edmund Burke said himself, the greater the power, the more dangerous the abuse. And for me, that resonates especially with our pack here. For this ragtag group of Garu that came together by happenstance, whatever situation, whatever emotional trauma there may have been, they did find each other. And in that, they did find their own sense of power. Whether it's in a sense of community, responsibility, or maybe protection. Strength in numbers is huge. Say what you will about the man, but he has said a few things, our buddy Kanye West. One thing I will agree with something that he wrote or saying is no one man should have all that power. Or maybe just no one being should. Something to think on. Friends, when we were here last, so much has happened. Your friend, your pack leader, your heart warden, Rangel, has gone missing for time on end, and that's not normal. I mean, he does go on a few sabbaticals, a couple day trips, but he's usually back and he keeps in communication, but that was not the case. With this worry, and with the collective dreams that Paul and Claire have had, you all kind of convened together at Rangel's shack to where there was a mysterious package that Nash received. In addition to that, some messages, some from the people in town, but the one that stuck out the most, obviously, is one of distress. You did a little bit of searching. You did find some contacts within Rangel's office to one called Darren Matthews, to which you all reached out to. Granted, although he seemed busy, wasn't too interested in speaking, especially with Warren here, once they identified themselves as a federal employee. We don't talk to the feds around here. But after a smoother and gentler approach from our friend Clara, you are now waiting for a notice from him to meet up, which suspiciously isn't Gary. Now, I don't know if you all in the pack have visited Gary often, but it is somewhere that Rangel goes from time to time. It's not a big touristy place. There's a really good barbecue spot down there that I've heard, so maybe something to look into. But it's the lead that you have. And as we go back to the moment after you've got off of the very suspicious call referring to the package that Nash received at the store, playing this eerie ELO song, Strange Magic, we go back into that moment. You're still waiting for the message from Darren, whether it's a text or a phone call coming through. So right now, all of you kind of wait, almost with bated breath, for the next opportunity or the next step. But here we are still in this moment, back in the tackle shop, in Rangel's office. The CD still playing on this very old stereo in the background. Seems to be on a loop, right? It's just a burnt CD with ELO for 20 tracks, the same song. In this moment, I would like to go around and ask, what are the initial thoughts? What are your feelings, concerns about what potentially you guys may have to do? Starting with Nash.
Well, I would say, first off, Nash is frustrated by the stupid fucking puzzles and songs, and can we just get down to it? Or do we have to do this whole thing? I think that she's feeling very antsy, knowing where we need to go roughly, and we're still standing here. So as soon as we can move along, that would be fantastic.
And Nash, being the type of person that you are, it makes sense. You're a go-getter, in the sense of you see the problem in front of you, and instead of waiting for it to come to you, you go to it. And so sitting around and waiting for someone to contact you and tell you what to do next, it's frustrating. It's deeply frustrating. And you find yourself having a hard time focusing. I would like for you to do a rage check for me, please.
Oh boy. How many dice do I have to roll for that?
It's just one.
Just one? Okay.
Yeah. And so again, as a reminder, 6 through 10 is success. Anything below that is a failure.
That's a 10.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. Nash, can you remind me how many points of rage you have right now?
2.
2. No worries. Through this frustration, you kind of sit there, this stupid song is playing in the background over and over and over again, and it's becoming eerie, then it's turning to annoyance, but you don't focus on that annoyance. You don't focus on the frustration of not being able to get up and go right now. And you keep it cool. Warren, how are we feeling right now? What are we thinking about?
Warren is currently sitting on a chair somewhere with his feet up on a desk. His obviously he's wearing sandals. Up on the desk, he's got a big bag of his homemade trail mix in his lap, and he's just kind of, he's definitely wearing socks in his Birks, and he's just, kind of eating out of his thing and sort of staring at the ceiling and kind of just making himself swivel on the chair like this. He eats a handful. Hey, you know what just occurred to me? Holy shit. I can't believe we never thought of it before.
What?
Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Our names.
Seriously?
Like the band,
This is what we're talking about right now?
No, but it just occurred to me. Like, strange things come to me at strange times. I mean, sometimes I'll just be sitting at home, like, flipping my nails or something, and, like, all of a sudden I'd be like, hey, if I were to move, this particular plant, this particular region, like it would help grow this particular, like I just, like when my mind's busy doing something, great ideas come to me. And I was just sitting here munching my trail mix, and I thought Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Great.
Don't tell me.
I don't know what that means.
The band? Because ELO's playing, and I was like, fuck, I wish this was something else, like, CCR or, fucking Neil Young or Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then it came to me. No? Clara, help me out here.
He's right. It seems like a strange coincidence. This does seem to be a strange time to be talking about that.
Thank you.
Well, we're just waiting on a phone call. Like, what are we going to do? Like, a man much wiser than me, was Paul, in fact, once said to me, if you worry too much about something terrible that you have to do, you have to go through it twice while you're worrying about it, and then when you actually have to do it. So until we actually have to do it, why worry about it? We might as well just relax.
I mean, why not get on the road?
Well, because we're waiting on a phone call.
Doesn't your phone work on the road?
Yeah, but let's say we start into Gary and then we get a phone call and it's like, oh, no, actually, you're heading to fucking Malibu Beach.
Fuck.
That.
I know.
I'm having trouble following your train of thought. But I don't think we're going to end up in Malibu.
You never know.
Seems like a stretch to me.
Seattle,
Again, why would we? I have heard that the Pacific Northwest has several packs out there. They fight a lot with glittery, shiny people, but I don't think we're gonna end up there. I think this seems more local than that.
Well, I'd rather be going to Seattle or Malibu Beach than fucking Gary, Indiana.
Well, I think we all would, but Rangel was in Gary last. So I think that's probably our first stop.
What do you think about all this, Paul? You're being uncharacteristically quiet.
Paul's still in wolf form. He's still coming down from the mushroom and herb cocktail that he consumed for his sight from beyond. And he's still in wolf form, and he's just kind of flopped, laid out beside Rangel's desk, and just kind of lifts his head and looks in your direction and kind of sniffs the air a little bit. You guys can see Storm sitting on a hat rack that has been converted into a basically owl perch that Rangel set up in his office a long time ago because he got tired of Storm sitting on other things and destroying them. And that's like basically just a few feet off from where Paw is sitting, and Storm just kind of rotates their head 180 degrees, where they're almost looking behind their body, and stares at Warren. And you just hear this big, long, heavy sigh come from Paw as he lays his head down on the cold floor. And he very obviously seems sad and distressed.
I offer him a handful of trail mix.
Just kind of shakes his head and keeps it on the floor.
Seeing Paw in his wolf form after Warren acknowledged that he was still in the room, Nash feels even more frustrated, being reminded that she's in this stupid human body and has to stand around like a fucking idiot with these people rather than getting out of here in her true form and doing what she wants and needs to do. So the
give me another rage check. Yeah, give me another rage check, Nash.
If I could intercede for just a moment, this may affect the rage check. How obvious is it, particularly to Paw, that Nash is going through this?
Oh, 100.
Probably
It's
pretty
very
obvious.
obvious. Yeah, especially within your lupine form, like you can sense it. Like,
Okay. I think Paul will go over to his pack, which is sitting like on a chair just in the corner beside the door. And he starts rooting around in the pack and pulls out this small, like wrapped in paper parchment parcel. And when I say small, it's like the size of a tennis ball, right? And it's like all balled up. And he pulls it out and goes over and he just kind of sets it down next to Nash and goes back over to where he was laying down. And if Nash reaches down and grabs it, opens it up, he'll see that it's actually some homemade peanut brittle. This was the sweet treat that was part of that care package that had been left for him at his home the night previously. And he just laid it there and then went back and kind of flopped right back down to where he had been laying.
Nash hates being pacified, but cannot deny her love for peanut butter. So she'll definitely take some and go for it.
I mean, it's peanut brittle, so it's
But there's peanut in it.
Sure.
Okay.
it's still the taste, right?
Uh-huh.
Beautiful. I love that. Clara.
Does she still need to make the rage check, or does that satisfy the rage?
No, honestly, if I was angry as a person and you gave me peanut brittle, any rage check would be gone. So I'm not going to put that on you.
I agree with that.
Now you guys learned something. So Clara.
Yeah, we know it's Gideon. Hang on.
Right? Ian, are you mad? Here. Yeah. Not anymore. This whole situation, the dreams, because you just didn't have one dream. You've been experiencing this for some time. And so for you, this feels, one, you get a small sense of relief. Because it feels like all of the dreams that were kind of pushing towards this one, now you have a direction. And so that gives you some peace of mind, but then you also realize the situation that this puts you in. You've lost people before. And not only have you lost people, it's not just losing them. It's the fact that they were taken from you, and they were taken so aggressively. And in that moment, helplessness, confusion, frustration. This is hard for you to manage right now. You get small little flashbacks of your previous pack, the carnage. You can even smell it. For a small moment, you close your eyes and you can just smell it. The ash, the fire, their blood. You can hear the screams. They're not as loud. They're more faint now. But this feels similar. In this moment, Clara, how are you dealing?
I think if anyone else looks at Clara closely, they'll see that her hands are shaking. She got a little bit of relief from the conversation. It diverted her attention a little bit. But as soon as it dies down again, she's right back in with her previous pack, and she's just full of fear. And I think she's like just taking deep breaths to try and push it aside, because she knows that she really needs to pull it together so that they can go help Rangel. But she doesn't want to. Everything in her wants to like flee and hide. So I think she sort of makes herself really small, and just kind of stands there breathing, trying to like pull herself back into the conversation.
Deb, can you roll a d6 for me, please?
I just want to ask if any of us noticed this.
Depends. See what this d6 tells us.
5.
You internalize all of this. You start reciting your favorite lines from the books that you find comfort in. You use it as your mantra to center yourself. Normally in this type of situation, even if you were at home, you would find yourself back at the library, not even reading, not working. You would just be there. The scent of the books, the feeling that there are so many stories, there are so many opportunities, so many lifetimes, so much knowledge here is enough for you to get out of your own mind, to escape your own reality, to forget your own past and replace it with someone else's, whether it's fact or fiction. And that's what you play in your head over and over again. Your hands still shake and you do still make yourself small. And your eyes glaze over, million-mile stare. And yes, you all do see this now.
Nash, having taken a couple of bites of this peanut brittle, will sort of work off of the instinct to share food with her pack, and will offer some to both Warren and Clara.
Claire will take some, and I think she'll kind of grab on to Nash's hand for a second and just remind herself that they're still here.
Are you good?
No, but no.
Hey. I think Warren will get up and walk over to his backpack and get something out of it and come back and go, forgot I meant to return this, and we'll hand you Anne of Green Gables, the book.
I think Claire is wearing kind of an oversized sweater with a really big pocket, and she just kind of tucks it into the pocket.
It's beautiful. I love that. As much of a motley crew you guys are, you're still a pack. And with everything that you have individually, your likes, your dislikes, your comforts, your discomforts, one of those comforts is in each other, which can be nice. It can be frustrating sometimes if you're referring to Warren, and it can be a little confusing at times with Paul. Annoying for Nash, but for Clara, for a very long time. This is the closest thing that you've had to stability. And it's hard for you to accept it because you had it once and then it was taken away from you. Warren, your pocket begins to buzz.
Yeah. Pick the number. Who's calling?
It's your boss.
Ah, gee.
You answered it. You can hear him on the line. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'd
here
like
it
to
is.
order an extra large pizza, please, for delivery.
Don't fuck with me, Warren. Okay? All right? Here it is,
What?
almost end of day.
What?
And where are you?
I'm in the field.
Were you supposed to be in the field today?
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember our conversation this morning?
Yeah, and I told you I had to come out here because the fucking rhododendron are eating the fucking sunflowers.
That's not what we talked about, Warren. I know papers from trees, but I didn't expect you to be out there. Where are my numbers?
I emailed them to you like just before I left the office. Ask Chad. Chad was there. He saw me do it.
I spoke to Chad. I was just at Chad's desk. Chad told me what you said about me.
That's impossible. I didn't say anything. Okay, wait. What's the issue here? You want the numbers? That's what you want? You want the numbers?
I want the numbers. I need to make sure that you know what? You got until 5. You got until 5 today. And if I don't have them, I don't give a damn if you text them to me. Send a carrier pigeon, wild man. I need the numbers. While this is happening, another call is coming in. And it's that unknown number 4. And listen, another thing that I need you to do is to make sure when you get me those numbers.
Oh, fuck, hold on. I got the governor on the other line and I switch over.
Don't you hang up on me, Warren. Warren, I swear to...
I hand the phone over to Clara. I think I just lost my job. I hand the phone to Clara.
Oh,
Clara, you answer the phone and it's Darren. He's like, hello?
hi.
Hey, this is that nice lady, right? This is the number on the phone?
Yep.
Yeah, it has to be. I saw the message. Okay, listen. I'm still finishing up at work. If you guys want to meet down here in Gary, that's fine. But it needs to be a little bit later in the evening. Right now, you guys, it's around like 3:30. I don't get off until around 8, and I'm not going to be available till then. It's probably best we talk a little bit later than that. Plus, I got the old lady at the house, whatever. So...
Your wife or your mother?
It's a very personal question from somebody I just met. But anyway...
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're right. That was personal. I didn't mean to offend. Mr.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, don't even worry about it. 10 p.m. Meet me at Gary's Memphis Barbecue.
10 p.m. Okay.
10 p.m.
Is there anything to do in Gary while we wait around?
Oh, y'all gonna show up now?
I mean, I don't think some of my companions are willing to wait here. I think some of them would like to go.
I mean,
now.
Yeah, y'all could show up here and eat and wait until then, but that's kind of weird. I mean, it's also like a couple hour drive-ish, depending.
Well, okay. We'll be there for sure by 10, but I'm assuming we'll be there earlier. But yeah, we'll probably come have some of your delicious barbecue.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Y'all, okay, but y'all are weird. Hangs up the phone.
So he said that he could meet us he gets off work at 8. He said something about meeting him at 10. He's got either a wife or a mother at home that he wasn't willing to tell me. Doesn't matter. I asked if there was anything to do while we waited, and we could go now and just eat there and wait for him to get done with work.
Is this not a priority to him?
Yeah, like
we just have to wait.
I don't think everyone
Chomps on
is
more peanut
as
brittle.
willing to lose their jobs and speak to their bosses like Warren is. So
I'm not gonna lose my job. You basically can't fire a federal employee. I mean, if I walked into work without pants on for a second time, like,
I'm sorry. Why did you walk into work without pants on?
It's a really long story.
Well, we've got a car ride, I think. So
as soon as you mention car ride, you hear a whine coming from Paul.
Oh, hey, Pa, don't worry. We're going to take my Land Rover fucking Primo ride. You're going to be great.
The wine gets louder.
Jeez, would you like some cheese with that wine?
Cheese?
Would you like some cheese? All right, look, I'll tell you the story. Look, okay. I mean, how are we going to find him? You guys need to do anything? You need to, Paul, you do that thing where you turn around 5 times and then lift up your leg and urinate and then you can sniff out people. Like, is there like some sort of guru-ish thing you need to prepare before we head out there?
Paul just goes over to his pack and like picks it up in his mouth and then sits.
He paws ready to go. But the 2 yous.
I've got 1 foot out the door. So whenever we want to get this moving.
About you, Clara, you okay?
Yeah, Rangel needs us, so, yeah.
All right, then. Well, picks up his bag, wraps up the rest of his trail mix. Y'all ever been to Gary?
Yeah.
You know it stinks, right?
Yeah. I try to drive through as quickly as possible and not stop.
Okay, well, when we get there, I have a little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub. We're just going to put some a little bit under our noses.
It's too much. Too strong.
I'll cut it with some mayonnaise or something. Let's go.
Cut it with some mayonnaise. God, that's funny.
So we're going to
Awesome.
go in my Land Rover, and as I was saying before the game, my Land Rover is definitely one of those old Land Rover, like classic 70s model with the big fucking exhaust thing on the side and the front, but it's been modified to run on like potato peels or something.
Nice. You guys pile in. Before you guys pile into Warren's Land Rover, Nash, when you pass the counter, right, you see that there is a series of manila packages that are there. It's standard. It's something that's done weekly. And normally when Rangel's out of town and you're locking up for the evening, that package needs to go back to his home. Now, granted, time is of the essence. You are a little frustrated, but duty comes first. You know you need to get that back to his home, at least before you guys head out to him. Because even though you save his life, maybe, potentially, you don't even know if he's alive. But if you do get him, and he comes back and he sees that, he's still going to ream your ass.
Fuck. We need to make a stop. I gotta drop this off at his house. Just... Will that work? Do you have enough potato in your car for this?
Man, I got 17 miles per bushel. We're good.
I don't really know what that means, but that's great.
Per bushel. That's not a lot. Beautiful. So you guys pile into the Land Rover. Nash directs you, Warren, and where Rangel lives. Super modest homes, nothing crazy, right? Nash,
if we're all piling into the Range Rover, I'm assuming Clara is in the back, because I'm fairly certain that Nash would not want to sit anywhere except shotgun.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Then I think Paw would stay in Lupa's form and just rest his head on Clara's lap, trying to be comforting.
I put on some Crosby, Stills, and Nash on my that deck.
Cassette.
Wouldn't it be
It's not an
8-track?
8-track.
I'm up to date. I burned a little incense in the truck also, just to,
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. So with incense in the air, patchouli more than likely, just whapping through. Yeah, I said that. we approach Rangel's home. Like I said, super modest. It's just by himself, right? It's about a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, nothing too crazy. It's enough. It's enough for him. He spends most of his time at the shop, and he does have a little space in there in his office, but you really need a physical address for some stuff, and a business address isn't cool with bank accounts. Sucks. You go in there, Nash. You unlock the door. You do have a spare key. Is anyone else going to be going in to Rangel's home with Nash?
I just have to drop this off, so,
I mean, I'm behind the wheel, so I don't think I would, but nobody else is going. I'll go. All right, I'll go. I'll leave the truck running. Throw a couple peels in.
Windows down.
Windows down.
Right.
Oh, this truck absolutely does not have AC.
No, 100%. Okay.
When I
Perfect.
come
So
back,
Nash-
we'll play some Grateful Dead.
Oh,
Trucking,
love this.
got my chips cashed in. Keep trucking like the doodah man. Together.
Paul likes one song.
Right? It's just this little head. He's just like,
And when
Yeah.
it comes on, he makes me play it like 3 times.
Yeah. His ears perk up.
Warren
Yeah,
Nash,
so I go with
guys you enter Rangel's home, right? And it's just a quick drop off. Real quick, Nash, if you could give me a wits and awareness.
Absolutely.
Warren, if you'd like to give me a wits and awareness too, it's completely optional for you.
I will in a second,
got-
putting on some creepy music.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You let me know what you get.
Wits and awareness, yeah. I got a specialization in smell.
Okay. So it should add an additional die.
Weed business. Okay, here it comes. What's my target, sorry?
4.
All right, I have a 10, a 6, an 8, a 5, a 4, and a 1.
Beautiful. More than enough. Well, you have 1. So with that 1, did you just meet it from what I heard? A 10,
No,
a 6,
I had like 5 successes and a 1, so.
So 4 successes. So you met it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So Nash, when you go into the door, right, this is commonplace for you, right? Almost muscle memory hits in. For a small second, something kind of goes across your mind, and then you're like, the fuck am I doing? I need to leave. But Warren, when you step closer, you can smell something. It's putrid. It's real bad, man.
Hork. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Did we drive to Gary and I didn't notice? What? I reached for my little jar of Vicks Vapor, but before I open it, I'm like, "You smell that?"
If I'm trying to smell it, do I smell it?
Yeah. Like once now you're focused on that there's something to smell, you do smell it. And Nash specifically, it's coming from the direction where Rangel's bedroom would be.
Fuck, we're not gonna find his body, are we? Jesus freaking Christ.
Nash goes straight for it.
I go with you. Actually, I go with you.
Are you going into this room? Are you using your training? Are you going to be clearing the entry, or are you going to just bust into it?
Well, now that you've said that.
Yeah. I think, like, going down the hall, the first, 3 steps are, I'm going to fucking kick the door down, and it's going to, that's just what's happening. And then with a couple more steps, I think she's like, all right, hang on. It's not just me here. Let's get this sorted. And I think she'd slow down just a bit and try to oh man. Yeah, she'll be a little bit careful going in. A little bit.
I'm not stupid. I'm like a few steps behind Nash.
Now, Nash, I refer to it as a shoot job, but your human job is that you're a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah.
So you've trained for things like this. Like, you've gone in points of area, you've cleared areas, you've gone in, you've done extractions. Like, that's part of the job. Do you carry anything on you daily? It could be anything. Like, I'm not specifically asking for like a firearm, but do you have anything on you?
She does carry a knife in like a holster on her jeans, but that's it. No firearms.
No firearms. Right, because why would you need to? You're a badass Red Talon. Why would you need a gun? Right? Beautiful.
Who brings a gun to a werewolf fight?
A hunter?
Ouch.
Man, fuck those guys.
If you could roll me a wits and insight, please.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget you have some rage tokens.
Rage tokens.
Do I want to use? Yeah, it's a rage token. Okay. 6, 8, 6, 4.
That's enough.
Yeah.
More than enough. Beautiful. Thank you. So your training kicks in. You live for shit like this. You love it, right? This is what you do. Your senses are heightened. This is what a Garu is made for. Hunting, tracking. And so you are on it. You clear your back. You look at Warren and you give him the notice to watch your 6. You slowly open the door to the bedroom, and that smell gets stronger. You brandish your knife, and you pop in. And as soon as you pop in, the door swings back on you. Can I get a dexterity and athletics roll from you, please?
You betcha. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. No failures.
4 successes.
Yeah.
The door swings back on you. You do a quick backpedal step, and from around the door, you can smell it before you can see it. But you just see this ravenous, very dirty, but the scent is what's killing you. Garu? Person. Worm. In that moment, you can't pin it. But this being kicks back the door and flips around you and begins to run outside of the room. Now, your dex check was enough for you to backpedal to where the door wasn't hitting, because he was swinging to hit you with the door, but it wasn't enough to stop him from getting past you. He is bolting down the hall, Warren, towards you. What would you like to do in this moment?
And then I freeze for a second, and then I'm going to kind of step aside, like I'm gonna let him pass. But if he's coming at me, I'll do something else. But if he looks like he's just trying to get out, I'm gonna kind of squeeze out of the way, like I'm afraid, and let him pass. But then the second he's kind of towards me, I'm going to like tackle him forward into the wall.
Gotcha. He looks like he's trying to get out, but he also looks like if you prevent him from doing so, he will mull you over.
I'm gonna do what I say, yeah. So I'm gonna just kind of step aside, but then, kind of jump him and drop him into the wall. Probably not, but I'm trying.
Let me get a strength and brawl, please, Warren.
Can I use a rage token and get an automatic success?
Yes.
All right, I'll do that. What's my target?
4.
I got 2 successes plus the success from the rage tokens. I got 3.
You you kind of set yourself up to make it seem like you're getting out of his way. And as soon as he gets 5 feet in front of you, you pivot in front, and he sees it, and he rugby slams you to the ground. The good thing about it is both of you do hit the ground, and in this moment, Nash, you have an opportunity to do something.
That literally, my whole plan was to just, occupy him while Nash got together. Like, my plan stops at that.
Yeah. You're the dummy. Nash will absolutely just tackle him. Ideally off of Warren, but whatever we have to do,
Strength and brawl, please. Target is 4.
Yes.
Now, so are you attempting to grapple him?
Yeah. I'm going full tackle, trying to pin him so that I've got him. So
this is going to be opposing. So forget the 4. It's whatever you roll against whatever I roll.
Just a single die?
No, still strength and brawl.
Okay,
still strength and brawl. So however many successes versus mine.
Okay. 6.
You need 6s.
6. 5. I got 3.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to go with meets it, beats it on this one. So, because I also only got 3 successes. So you see this person come through. Warren is just like, and then both of them come tumbling to the ground. In this moment, you snap to it and you just dive onto this guy. You do have him in a rear naked chokehold, and he's just snarling, just really trying to get a hold from you, and he's struggling. Now, outside, everyone, you can hear a little bit of a scuffle. It's not clear that there's an issue, but to you, it sounds like a couple books fell off the shelf.
We're not reading books.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that Paw, being in Lupus form, also Storm circling above, keeping an eye on things and whatnot, would have the sense that something is wrong, and just start growling, and then try to get Clara's attention to open the door.
I like to think that I've jury-rigged my Land Rover so that at least the back hatch door can be opened with paws from inside. Because I would think I would think of that. There's like a little cable that's attached with like a pulley, and it comes down around, and it connects to the handle, and you just have to like.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think that Paw would be looking at the house, growling, and then go and headbutt the door to get it to open up and bolt inside. Still in Lupus form.
Beautiful. Paul, you bolt into the home. The door is still open, right? You quick on it. Age has nothing on you. You pop that corner. You see Nash there struggling with this person. They're snarling. They're laughing. It's a mixture of giddy confusion, frustration, and anger in this person, almost possessed. And you can hear them. You can hear them screaming and wailing, and you hear them say, "It's almost time. It's almost time. Gaia will have her sacrifice." And it's just that in front of the snarls and the choking, because Nash has got a tight hold on them. What would you like to do in this moment?
Is there any kind of a check that I can make to try to natively understand the state that this creature is in and what kind of otherworldly influence is affecting them?
Sure.
Like, would that fall under...
Or wits and insight, or wits and occult?
Wits and... That's what I was going for, because my occult is better than my insight. All right. So... target number is 6, I assume?
Yes. Yeah, target number is 6. On this one, I'd say 3 successes would give you a good view.
Well, I got 2 crits and 2 non-crits and no 1s, so...
Okay, so one more time, I'm sorry?
I got 2 10s, a 7, and 8, and then none of the rest were 1s.
Oh, 2 10s, critical success. Awesome.
Right.
You can smell the worm on this being. You can smell the worm strong on this being, but this is not the worm. This is a Garu. But that scent, that corruption is running so deep in this Garu. And you can tell that they're completely oblivious to reality right now. They emphatically believe what they are saying. They believe that Gaia deserves their sacrifice, that this is the one. Immensible power is at our grasp. This is this person's mantra. This is what they believe in. But this bothers you.
Do I feel like they're being influenced by a spirit at all?
Yes, but you're more so know that this is their own conviction, as opposed to they were influenced by someone else, but there is an Umbra-esque type dealings here. It's not the main thing going here. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know if you and I had discussed this previously. Can Paw use his penumbral sight in lupus form, or does he have to be in one of the other forms?
We agree that a lupus form, we can, yeah, you're good.
Okay. Then I'm going to spend the willpower point and I want to activate penumbral sight.
Perfect.
See if I notice anything.
Is there anything specific that you are looking for, or are we just trying to get a general vibe check?
Well, I'm trying to see if there's some type of a umbral influence that Paw might be able to affect otherwise. Because he's not going to join the physical confrontation. He's not a physical,
Gotcha.
or not as physical as, the rest of his companions. Certainly not as physical as Nash by a significant margin.
Okay, no worries. So in this, using your sight, you don't see umbral influence. You see dark, shadowy corruption. There's no connection here that you can make with this person through the gifts that Gaia has provided to you, but Gaia has provided you the gift to see what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you can see.
Then I think it will be unfortunately necessary. Well, I'm probably taking up too much time here. We can move on. Okay.
Do you think? No, what you got? Yeah.
I feel like Paw then would unfortunately see this and feel sympathy for this being and shift into Hamid form and try to calm this individual.
Okay. Put in a pin in that, because that's beautiful. Nash, you still got this person in your grasp, and thank you for popping that up. They are in their Globro form, so they're not fully Hamid. But you can see that there is a shift that was either happening or that they are stuck in.
Okay.
Now, Paul, do you communicate? Do you communicate to Nash that this is what you're doing to try to get them to calm down, or?
No, I think that as he shifts back into Hamid form, his hands are up and he's trying to exude like a calming sense, and he's saying things vocally like, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Just calm down for a minute. Just calm down.
His head is just flaring back and forth. There's just drool and snot, and you can just see that he's just not there. And you can just hear him. It's coming. It's time. He's growling, harrowing. It's the sacrifice must be made. Gaia's must get, and it's just getting worse.
Can I kind of extricate myself from under him? And I would like to run into the kitchen or living room, whatever is nearby. I want to try to find something kind of heavy and wieldy to come back and try to knock him upside the head with.
Oh, absolutely. Rangel is a bushcraft kind of guy. So with most bushcraft camping people, they have a cast iron thing. So right on the stove, you do see a cast iron pan and a cast iron griddle. So you have options. welcome. This is Macy's.
Nice. Is one of them like, obviously belong to his grandmother kind of thing?
The cast iron griddle does look like this is something that may have been with him for years, maybe his family for years. You flip on the other side of it, there's a small etching that says like it's got a little heart, right? And it says Popo loves you, like it's right there, like on the bottom of it. Yeah, you quickly turn your head and you can see in the kitchen there's like a picture of like little Rangel standing on a step stool next to a stove, and there's just like this old gentleman black man who's just smiling, making biscuits. And then you look at it and you go, oh, that's the cast iron pan and that thing. So there's so much sentimental connection to both of these.
Yeah, right. I grab it, and as I come back, I'm gonna come back with it, and I'm gonna be like, feel the weight of the family tree, man. And I'm gonna fucking
Can you? I love that. Let me get a strength. I will give you the option: strength and brawl or strength and melee. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go brawl because I don't got melee.
That's fine. And because I love this, and that I also have a cast iron pan that has a little etching from my nana in it, I'm gonna give you one automatic success.
Sweet. Oh, that's not bad. If I'm looking for, I got 8, 7, 9, a 6, and some.
You guys see Warren. You guys see Warren scramble from off the floor and just takes off into the kitchen, and you hear clang, 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 and then you hear like real loud, and then he comes tailing out of the kitchen again, and he just goes, feel the weight of generational pain, and just smacks the side of this dude's head. Nash, I do need a dex. And hold on, let me let you know. I'm gonna need a dex and actually, you know what? Wits and awareness. Give me wits and awareness. Yeah.
Okay.
Or dex and athletics. Up to you.
They're the same. Okay.
Beth has 6s across everything.
I'm really good at what I do, you guys. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Beautiful. You see Warren come tailing. You hear him give his decree, and before the pan hits the cheek, you dip back, and whatever force may have met you goes fully into this person, and they just go boom and just hit the wall. Old school cast iron is hella heavy, and it was enough to ring this guy's bell. So now you have this gentleman on the floor in Rangel's home, knocked out. Beautiful.
Oh, I checked the cast iron. Is it damaged?
Not a scratch.
Oh man.
If anything, the grease and the spit from this guy's face kind of like seasoned the bottom half of it.
Man, they sure don't make shit like they used to. Whew. I think Warren drops down and just sits down and drops the cast iron pan outside. What was that?
Good hit.
Oh, whew. I don't know, man. It's I pick up the pan. What was the name? Popo?
Popo.
Thank Popo, man. Oh shit! I think I wrenched my back. Fuck. Ah. Oh, what the fuck is that thing?
Nice hit. I think. Hang on. I'm gonna go get. And he just turns around and walks outside to try and see what Claire is up to, make sure that she's okay, and try to get her to come in.
Just in the car, making my way back.
No. If you'll permit me, I think as soon as Pa started growling and booked it toward Rangel's house, she got out of the car, and she's not strong at all. So she's like, whatever's happening in there, I'm not going to be helpful. Is there a cairn around Rangel's house? Because I would like to use my whispering field and sense from the animals and the plants around how long this person has been here, and if there's any insight I can get, or information I can get about what's happening from, the
Absolutely.
surroundings.
Do you need to make a check to use that?
I do, yes. Wisdom and survival. Two 10s and then 2 4s and a 2.
Okay, but no 1s, so it's a critical success with the 2 10s. I'll take that for sure. You channel yourself for this, and the area that Rangel lives in, it's pretty close to the wilderness. Not as deep as how Paul likes to live, but again, like I said, he's a bushcraft camper, so he likes to keep himself relatively close to the area that he feels comfortable in. What's scary about this moment is that with this type of area, you would sense and you would feel a number of creatures, right? Big or small, right? Deer, squirrel, rodents, hell, bugs. And you do, but you feel that there has been a distance from Rangel's home. If I were to put an example to it, is as if you were looking at a map and then there is a circle around Rangel's home up to 30, 40, 50 feet that is just dead area. And then beyond that is when you can sense very, very faintly other creatures that you can connect with. This lets you know that it's not a matter of how long this has been, it's a matter of how strong it is. Whatever corruption, whatever disturbance entered into Rangel's home, it is strong enough to push back what you as a Garu hold true. And that's concerning.
So paw comes out and Clara's eyes are black and her hair is floating a little bit as she uses this rite and senses what's happening.
Paul, with your connection to the Umbra, I apologize for interrupting. With your connection to the Umbra and Clara, inciting this rite, at that moment, you can feel similarly what Clara's feeling. That area of corruption and where it expanded. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think he can also feel some unease coming from Storm, who's probably flying above the corruption because she doesn't want to come down further into it. And I think he just recognizes what Claire's doing, having seen her do it before, and he just walks up to her and starts looking around in that natural protective instinct, waiting for her to finish, but standing in front of her so that as soon as she finishes, she knows that he's there.
Her hair eventually settles back down and her eyes clear.
I assume that's not a good thing, as he's continuing to look around.
The corruption is so strong here.
We got somebody on the inside that's got a fair bit of worm taint on him. Could probably use some of your insight on this one too, because I'm not seeing a whole lot I can do about it right this moment.
I'll do what I can.
LOL, worm taint. I feel that. In this moment, Nash, I'm going to say that you've tied up this person, right? You got them kind of leaning up against the wall in the central living room. You're smart. You put them in an area to where you can see all points, just in case. There is a front window in the living room, just giving a little bit of light, but it has been covered with the shades, but you have them tied up, and you're in the process of bringing them to when Paul and Clara walk in.
As we're coming inside, I think Paul is going to whisper into the air for Storm to look around and see if she sees any obvious trails of the worm, like origin points or access, or ways that it came in or ways that it left, something like that.
Gotcha. Do you need to make a roll for this insight for Storm?
I don't need to make a roll, but Storm needs to make a roll. So
Gotcha.
I don't know if you want me to roll that or not.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Storm is a power 3 gaggling and has 4 dice of skill. So that's going to be 7 dice. I assume my targets are 6.
Yeah, targets are 6, and this one, the success target is low for sure because Storm's got
so
this.
Unfortunately, I rolled a 1, but it still ends up being 2 successes.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. You get insight from Storm that this is something that did come from out of the direction of the forest and the woods. She also provides you the same insight that you got with Clara about how the corruption is pushing back some of the natural umbral forces from Rangel's home. But you only see one path. You don't see multiple. So you are confident in knowing that it's just him. Perfect. Nash, you slap this guy around, right? You're already pissed off that you got attacked, so please let me get a point of rage for me. Warren, you also take a point of rage too with your generational trauma slap, because like that just got you going. You're not why are you making me sweat? It's kind of giving you the.
I think that when you guys come in, Warren's like, jeez. Can I, Nash, can you give me a hand with this? I'm just gonna need to.
What? You just have that available? Like, that's. I love that.
She can't even respond to you. She's trying to wake this guy up.
This person comes to, and they're extremely groggy, but even in that state of like grogginess, they're still the sacrifice. The guy's power, and they kind of like flitter their eyes open, and they see you, and they try to lunge at you, but you see that they realize that they're tied, and he's just kind of giving you the eyes, like he's one of these.
Nash just sort of stares and tries to get a sense of what is going on in this guy's head, and she'll just ask, what sacrifice does Gaia require?
Oh, she was right. You all are idiots. It's a one of respect and power, but you wouldn't know that. And he kind of like gestures at you again, like attempting to try and bite you.
What are you doing here, specifically?
Hunting. I was bored.
Mm-hmm. Well, you sure fucked that up, didn't you?
He's bleeding from his mouth. is just kind of like drilling down, and he goes, I don't know. I haven't finished.
Pa, will you talk to this guy?
I mean, he's succumbing to the worm. I don't think there's much reason to be had with him. And like, you can see a snarl kind of forming on Pa's face. He actively hates this individual.
Many gifts.
Which is rare for Pa.
Yeah.
Many gifts. Many forms. And he starts chewing on his tongue.
Seeing that Pa is responding in a way that Nash approves of, she looks to Warren as a means of seeing if she should be stopped, because sometimes she knows not to trust her rage. She's been told she has to unlearn a lot of that. Warren?
Yeah.
What do we do here?
Is he eating his own tongue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I look around, find, broom or something. Get that in his mouth. Get that in his mouth. Come on. Put that in there. Open up, buddy. Oh, God damn it. He stinks.
He spits out whatever that is, and he goes, still bleeding profusely, biting on his tongue, and he's like, it dances ever so sweetly. Many gifts. Oh, you.
Pa, can I end him? Please.
He's saved. He's a dancer. And Pa's hackles are raised up, and you can see him fighting back, like switching into, like changing into an animalistic form. His eyes are shifting from human to wolf, and he's like growling heavily. The very being in the same room as this creature is dramatically upsetting Pa.
Can I make a quick insight check to see if I feel that there's anything actually that might work to gain something from him, or if he's really like so far gone that...
Yeah, wits and insight, Paul. Point of rage. Beautifully done, sir.
My target?
Targets are 6 for that, and
I got 2 9s and a 10.
Okay, beautiful. So we'll ride that. 3 successes. What is it that you're trying to glean?
Basically, I want to know if there's enough intelligence left in this creature that we might be able to trick it, or in some way, shape, or form induce him to tell us something, or if he's just so far gone that all he's going to do is keep saying his gibberish and we're just wasting time, kind of thing.
Gibberish is his love language in this moment, but there is some form of intelligence in there. They are susceptible to charm, especially when it comes to what they believe in.
Look, I'm going to step up to him. Hey, look, buddy. Look, I get it. You're pissed off, we conk you on the side of the head, and you think we're idiots, and then that's fine, that's fair, I get that. But I kind of look over my shoulder at the other 3, and I lean in, and I'm like, I know you don't know me, but I'm kind of a pariah around here. Are you guys like Iron?
You smell lost. Oh, you would dance. You would dance so sweetly.
Yeah.
Clara sort of steps forward and pushes Warren aside a little bit. And
Pretty.
I think she just like looks him in the eyes and is, what would you like for us to know?
You wouldn't know. You'd never know. Gifts, power. It dances, spiral dances. And he's closing his eyes and he's reeling his head. And you can see in this current moment that this delirium, this almost possession, turns into pain. And he winces and he's like, it's so much. So
put his hand kind of put my hand kind of gently on his face. It's okay. He opens
his eyes and they're stark white.
Where's Rangel?
It dances, and his eyes again open, stark white. The frustration turns into pain, and he goes, "He'll be there soon." And he begins to bang his head on the side of the point of the end table next to where he's sitting.
Nash takes out her knife and ends him there. Sorry. She'll sort of like put her body in front of the rest of them so it shields them from the view of it, but
Warren will pull Clara away.
Merciful.
We don't need to watch this. Come
Sorry.
On. Oh, jeez. No,
Clara
it's okay.
Vomits.
Oh. I'll guide Clara to the bathroom. Over here. There, water here.
With this gentleman's body slumped over from the injury sustained to his head, and as well as Nash just putting him out of it, you guys realize that there's obviously a lot more to what's going on. It's obviously connected, because why would he be here? But it gives you more questions than answers. In this particular moment, daylight is waning. You all need to get on the road. Before we get to that, is there anything additional you all would like to do while in Rangel's home?
I think seeing Nash plunge their knife into this black spiral dancer, a pall of shadow washes over Paw, and he becomes very morose very quickly and shifts back into Lupa's form and just slowly turns and pads his way outside, trying to find the furthest edges of this worm taint that has corrupted Rangel's home, pushing to that spot and trying to settle himself into a moment of closeness with Gaia and quiet, with Storm flying down to be next to him, and he just lays there in complete and utter distress.
With everyone leaving, Nash feels just a hint of remorse. And that's clouded then by anger, because no, this is what she's supposed to do. It's what she's meant to do. It was what had to be done. It was the right thing to do. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't. But she does have a gift called Hidden Killer, where she can hide the evidence of a kill.
I love that. Red talons are the best. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So she'll do everything she can to get this as far off of Rangel's property, out of sight, whatever it means to make this go away.
Beautiful. Respectful.
Warren will stay with Clara until, the whole thing passes, and get you a wet towel. And once you look like you're okay and kind of feeling better, I'm gonna grab my phone, seeing what Nash is doing. I'm gonna grab my phone. I have a contact level 2. Her name is Jill. She works at an urban renewal company. And I'm going to ask if she can dispatch a team out here, because I think that there's been some sort of leak or something to that effect, and the area seems to be in need of a little cleansing and sprucing up. So once the body's been moved and disappeared, of course, I'm not going to call it in before that, but I'm going to ask if she can send a team tomorrow to, give the area once over and make sure that there's no bad shit lying around.
You call your contact, your friend, and she picks up and she's like, well, it's funny that you called me again. What is it this time?
I was wondering, have you gone through all those brownies I sent you?
I mean, there's one left, if you're willing to share.
Well, it so happens that I'm planning to make a fresh batch this weekend, so I figured I'd check in and see if how your supply was holding up.
Well, I mean, I have the flour you need, but I don't know if we still have enough caramel from the last time that this happened. I mean, it was everywhere.
Yeah, well, any baker worth his salt's gotta fucking make it messy. If they're not making a mess, like, what's the point? Are you really a baker? Are you really baking? Are you really fucking baking if you're not making a mess in the kitchen?
Anytime you talk to me like that, I know you need a favor. What is it?
Well, I was following up on some reports of some animals getting sick and ill over here, and I give the address, and I think there's something going on here. I think there might have been a spill or something that's been hidden. I can definitely see a trace of some pretty nasty pollution going on. Some of the plants are affected, and some of the animals in the neighborhood also. So I was just wondering if you might dispatch a team out here tomorrow to give the place a little once over, a little scrub,
Ooh, tomorrow. That's going to be a little tight, Warren, but I'm sure I can make an exception.
Well, I was thinking of adding some of these awesome little sea salt caramel crunchers into the brownies.
I'll get your team out there, Warren, and you make sure you are not a stranger anytime soon.
I got my bacon apron ready to go.
It's not a stream unless you flirt with Bleak a little bit. Beautiful. So, yeah, you got your contacts set up. They'll be out here to do the cleanup for you.
I hang up. God damn it, every time. Oh.
While Warren was on the phone, Clara went outside, and she's got a little pouch of herbs, and she sprinkles them in as wide of a circle as makes sense around Rangel's home. And she kneels on the ground and puts both hands on the ground, and she just whispers a little prayer to Gaia, asking for renewal of the earth and return of the animals.
Gaia, with the scourge and the corruption of the worm, Gaia's distance from most things is evident, but in this moment, she can't ignore the cries of her own. And you can gently feel small hums within the ground. Kind of tickles the bottom of your feet, dances even. And you know that you were heard. So, with this, friends, we've gotten some small insight, and time is waning. You can see daylight leaving you. You all pack back into the Land Rover, and you make your trek to Gary, Indiana, which is about a 2-hour, 15-minute drive. So it's not too long. Warren, when you turn on the car, you don't remember turning it off, but when you turn on the car, your radio is blaring loud.
Jesus, Clara.
And before you can turn it down, you just catch the gentle tune of that damn ELO song again. And that's where we'll take a break.
And he's got the fucking local DJs on his payroll.
Right. Everyone gain a point of rage. Okay, to myself. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for rocking with us as we go into the second half of this finality of Blind Rage, Werewolf the Apocalypse game. Thank you to everybody at the table as well. I hope you guys are rocking, having fun. I know that you are, because you said that you are. I'm having the time of my life. Couldn't be doing anything better on a Friday, so I appreciate y'all for having me. Beautiful. So we go back. We're on the road to Gary, Indiana, because that's where everyone wants to vacation. Before we kind of get into potentially any conversations in the car, the idea, the experience that you all just had, this corrupted soul, this corrupted Garu, in their delirium state, they speak about power, about a sacrifice, about gifts from Gaia. It's so confusing. It's frustrating, and it leaves you with more questions than answers. For something that's so corrupted by what is obviously the worm, how could this be a gift from Gaia? Brings me to something that I read recently. Friedrich Nietzsche. I can't speak well. A quote that I really like. Whoever fights monsters should see it, that in the process, he does not become a monster. If you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze back to you. And it's funny, looking into the eyes of this corrupted Garu, somebody who should be a friend, a potential pack member, and seeing their eyes not only glaze over, but go stark white, seemingly losing all of their senses, you can't help but resonate with that. For that is staring into the abyss, into a deep nothingness of corruption, despair, confusion. It's haunting. As you guys go on your little journey to Gary, Indiana, you do have a small moment to maybe discuss anything that you've seen, make any group preparations or plans. What are you going to do? What are you going to ask Darren when you see them? And what do you feel should be the next step?
Can I sense how ragey everyone is, since we're in pretty close proximity?
Friends, can Clara sense how ragey you guys are?
I mean, I think you would know, like, from a scale from, like 1 to 5, that I might be at like a solid 3.
I think Warren's a little bit on edge, but he picked up a little herbal soother from his glove compartment, and he's managing.
I don't know if you can tell how ragey per se that Paul is, but now instead of in the back seat, he's like curled up in the back of the truck and like making himself small in the back of the truck.
Have we ever seen something like this before, Ian? Is this our first encounter with a BSD?
This is your first encounter with something like this, yes. I would say the only person in this entire interaction that may have some sense of this would be Clara, and I feel as though that in this moment she may be kind of going back into her memories to make any connections, but you just can't quite do so, but it feels familiar. All right. So as we continue our journey into Gary, Indiana, you do pull up to Gary's Memphis Barbecue. It's a smoke shack hut. This is one of their second locations, or maybe the original location. You can smell the smoked meats coming out of the air, permeating this beautiful, beautiful, lovely scent of ribs and brisket and turkey and smoked chicken, and you can even like smell a little bit of beer in the air, because what's barbecue without beer? And you see that they're closing up for the night. You guys are kind of tailing towards the 10 o'clock time frame, and you do see a gentleman waiting, kind of just strolling around. He's got his hands in his pockets, smoking a cigarette. And when you pull up, he kind of gives you that look, and you have a sense that that's who you're looking for. It's our buddy.
Before we we'll park the car, and before we get out, I did want to say something earlier. I was waiting to see if somebody else was going to speak up, but I just wanted to say, I don't know how y'all are feeling about that guy that Nash just
Put down.
Yeah, put down. But feeling a little concerned. A little, not quite zen.
Is that, you mean you're angry? Is that what that feeling is?
No, I mean, like, what was that? Like, look, I work for the government and I've never seen that. So, anyone know what that was?
I don't fully understand shit like that, but I know that it's not good, and that it means that we need to find our friend, like, immediately. They might have a better idea, and I'll look to Clara and Pa.
It's something big. I don't know more than that. I just keep getting flashes, glimpses of the past and of the dreams that I've been having. I don't know.
You've been dreaming about that shit?
What haven't I been dreaming about?
I don't know. We haven't discussed dreams yet. We were talking books, but like
like that dream about being in a meat locker, and dreams about Gaia, dreams about the worm. It's hazy, and I don't have any clear sense of what it means.
I think it's part of the problem. Like, there's never any clear. And I mean, I work for the U.S. government, so you want to talk about opaque, but we should see my voice, man. But I kind of feel like it's never really clear. I kind of feel like there's people are saying there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of like, but like.
You don't believe me?
No, I believe you. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying that you and Pa, you're out there talking about spirits, this, spirits, that, and all that. Like, it's not spirits. It's fucking petroleum companies and it's fucking car makers.
Why can't it be both?
Well, I'm just thinking that while we're wondering what, like, it's never really clear what the spirits are doing. When we know the spirits, there's actual stuff that could be done, like in the real world. Like, I'm not putting down
spirits are real.
Yeah, sure. I know. I've interacted with a couple. I'm just saying that I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying that I find that by and large, there's real stuff that could be done, and a lot of, I won't say you guys, but a lot of the others and whatnot that I find are kind of not very hands-on. Like, it's the spirits of this are malcontent and the corruption is coming. And the corruption's here. We're fucking standing in it. We're breathing it right now. Did you smell? I rolled down my window because I have a roll. Yeah, can you smell it? Like, that's there. Like, it's not
smoked meat.
I feel like as a manifestation of Pa's anger at what he hears from Warren, a big splurt of owl shit lands on the front windshield right in front of Warren.
I think as soon as Warren starts saying like stuff about the real world, Clara gets out of the car and goes over to Darren, starts walking that direction.
Nash gets out too. Warren, you're kind of a dick.
I'm not a dick. I'm just saying there's real shit going on.
Oh my god.
I'll
follow Clara.
God damn it. Every fucking time.
You guys exit the vehicle, and you see Darren. He's sitting over there, or he's standing over there, and he's like, you that nice lady that I was talking to on the phone?
That's me.
Definitely not me.
Hi, wipes.
Back off.
Wow. Strong. He wipes off his hands. He goes, I'm Darren. Shakes,
Hi, I'm Clara. This is Nash.
All right. You remind me of one of my favorite wrestlers. Kevin Nash, part of Wolfpack, NWO. You feel? All right. And back there?
Yeah, hi, I'm the man.
This is Warren. He's the one you didn't want to talk to, and that's Pa.
Whoa. Is that the Fed?
Yeah, I work for the fucking Environmental Protection Agency, all right? I'm not fucking
sit in
FBI.
the car, Warren.
I'm not CIA. I'm not
Warren.
fucking NSA.
Warren.
I'm not WKRP in fucking Cincinnati, all right? I work for the Environmental Protection Agency.
Would you back off? And
Hey,
Clara
giblets, dog. Just messing with you.
Clara turns around and like pushes Warren back 2 steps.
Oh,
Let
God.
me handle this.
He asked me.
He doesn't like you. He seems to like me. Back off.
All right.
Nash stands in front of you, Warren, and just looks at you like, yeah, that's right. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You just got by Clara.
I'm sorry about them. I would have preferred that they stay in the car because they are not always polite. I apologize.
Nah, it's fine. There's always one.
Or 3.
Meanwhile, Pa is still in lupus form and has like nudged the hatch open on the truck and is just like half laying out of the back of the truck, just staring at Darren.
Darren, obviously being Garu as well, he kind of looks at you and he gives a gentle nod. How you doing? This is Paul.
Yeah.
It's funny. I get it, right? Because we're and then in your name.
He's not big on jokes or puns. He's not big on puns and jokes.
Yeah. He kind of squats down and looks at you, Paul, and goes, "It's funny. Most hard wardens, they're a little bit more warm." I get it. And then he scruffs you on the head. He's like, all right, that's cool. And then he stays.
Snaps at him.
Oh, hey,
Pulls
I'm
back
sorry.
and snaps at him.
Hey,
Our pack is
Sorry.
not the friendliest. So again, I apologize. I'm happy to talk with you on behalf of our pack. We just want the information about Rangel.
Yeah. So I got a call from him, right? And we used to be in service together for a little bit. And I mean, you know Rangel as much as I do, right? He obviously likes to, look after people, right? He takes in strays, right? I mean, this is kind of dude he is. I mean, honestly, all of us were that once. And so, yeah, every so often, like, I get a phone call from him. He's coming into town. We kind of hang out, we eat, whatever. But this one, apparently, like, it was another person that he knew that was in some trouble. Apparently, it's like a thing that happens all the time. And he had a bad feeling about the stuff that was surrounding him. And so he didn't want to go alone. So he called me. So yeah, we went into town looking for this dude, and then things got kind of weird.
What does that mean? Things got weird.
Like, so we were looking, essentially, like Rangel kind of had like the scent, like he kind of knew where his dude was going, and we were kind of just, I don't know, we kind of found our ways, like the in-ways and the valley-ways, you know what I mean? And at that point, I was getting a little frustrated because we weren't coming to nothing. It was getting late. I was tired. I worked a full shift, and I went to go say something to him, and then like this huge flash of light like happened, and then I heard popping sounds, which obviously was a gun. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the alley, and Rangel's nowhere to be found. Paul, if you're still around and you're listening to this, he's
100% listening.
You know exactly what he's talking about, because this is the exact dream that you had.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
There's a difference in what he's describing and what Paul experienced in the dream.
Exactly. You do what you will with that in this moment. So yeah, it was like I mean, obviously know what gunshots sound like. We did it for a profession for a long time. And honestly, it takes a little bit more to kind of like knock us back. But for some reason, this one kind of hit me. And yeah, like I said, I woke up. Rangel's no longer around. None of his stuff. I haven't heard from him. I mean, he disappears. I just thought maybe he got away and, maybe he's tending to his wounds or something. But, that's what I got.
You're gonna take us where you went with Rangel.
No. I'm tired. I've worked 16 hours today. That's what I got.
Nash, what time were you up today?
Oh, I was up very early. I'm tired too, but we're going to find our friend, and I think you're going to help us.
I hope y'all do. I mean, he's my friend too, but he does this. He disappears. He gets into trouble. Y'all don't know.
Not like this.
Y'all don't know what he be doing when he leaves. All right. Like, y'all just in your little world over there in battlegrounds. Like, I know where y'all stay. Like, he tells me about y'all, but your boy's got a whole nother life.
We were just at his house, and there was a corrupted Garu.
Like what? Like he was high or something, or what?
Like he tried to bite his own tongue out.
So he was high.
No, he was something else. His eyes were wide. He smelled like death, he had these weird rashes all over his body. He kept talking about the gifts of Gaia and dancing and
Dancing.
dancing.
And this was at Rangel's house. This corrupted, not high Garu talking about dancing, white eyes was at Rangel's house.
Yes.
Well, shit. Give me a second. I gotta make a phone call. I'm sorry. I got people. And he walks away and he pulls out a cell phone.
Is it your mother?
What'd you say about my mama?
Is it your wife or your mother? Who are you?
What is with you? Were you on the phone? It was you. Why are y'all asking me about like my family?
I'm just curious. That's
y'all
your
are
business.
y'all are weird. He goes. He's. My head said something else. Y'all are weird. And then he turns around and he goes to his phone call.
Would it be possible? I'm assuming he tries to walk far enough away for us to not hear his phone call.
Yep. And he can see you.
Would it be possible for me to growl up to Storm and have Storm land near him and listen in?
I don't think you would even need to growl. I just think Storm just knows. So, yeah. So Storm kind of perches on top of the building, right? In a nice area to where she can see herself, but focusing in on Darren's conversation. If you could, roll me a wits and awareness for Storm to see how clearly she gleans what's going on.
So I got a 1 in there, but it's still a total of 3 successes.
3 successes. You kind of channel your focus through Storm and you can hear, yeah, it's gonna be late. No, I'll make sure to bring some. No, I'm not going out dancing. Why would I? It's a Wednesday. Why would I? Okay. Yeah, 2 rib plates and the sausage. I got you. I'd say, what is it? 1 young bird, a hen, 2 roosters. Maybe the rooster. All right, bet. And he hangs up the phone. Yeah, he comes back and he goes, okay. My night opened up. Yeah, I'll take you. I'll take you to where we work.
Cool, thanks, man.
Okay. Is it gonna be all y'all? All y'all are coming?
Yep.
Okay. And he kind of looks at the Land Rover and he's like,
Yeah, man,
I'm not doing that.
got
No,
room.
absolutely not. Y'all can follow me. That's fine.
We got Grateful Dead playing.
What?
Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia.
50 Cent,
Such
Nelly,
a great
what?
kind of suits you anyway.
Y'all just follow me. And he walks over. Like he's got a bike. Like he's got a motorcycle that he rides.
Man. Kids
As
today.
we walk back to the truck, car, whatever, potato wagon, Nash will just sort of shuffle up next to Clara. Thank you for being the one who talks. You are much better at it.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
And Clara is gonna jog over and hop on the back of the bike behind Daryl.
And he's like, oh, Okay. I said, hey, I don't have a helmet for you. I'm not wearing one, but I think you'll be all right.
That's unsafe. You should wear a helmet.
Okay, nerd. And just starts taking
What's Clara
off.
doing?
I don't know. But let's follow.
Storm immediately starts flying like 10, 15 feet above and behind them.
Which is good because as you guys are following Darren, you can see that it feels like he's actively trying to lose you, right? It's moving a little bit faster, a little bit more erratic than you would expect somebody who is saying, hey, follow me. But Storm is keeping up. And so you are able to track with him. He takes you to the inner city of Gary. All right.
As we're going, Paul will shift into Hamid form slowly. In the back seat, he will start telling his companions, I'm certain he's leading us into a trap, and I'm fairly certain he doesn't know that I know his recollection of events with those gunshots aren't quite exactly the way they turned out for real.
You didn't think to say anything as Clara jumped on the back of the bike?
Storm's watching Clara. We just gotta stay close. He's leading us to where whatever took Rangel, he's leading us to where that happened, I think. Just saying, be ready, because this ain't gonna be friendly when we get there.
Or was it ever gonna be?
No.
God damn it, Clara. I take out the Grateful Dead and put in some Creedence Clearwater.
I was just about to say Creedence Clearwater. I love that. Nice.
Clara can feel that the bike is going fast for, him having said that the group should follow. So she's gonna slip a knife out of her boot and hold it to his kidney.
Hmm.
Are you gonna slow down?
No. This is what's your safe word?
I would like you to be a little more cautious.
You got on my
Yes.
bike.
Neither of us have helmets. You're supposed to be helping us.
So what if I stop suddenly? You just gonna stab me? Come on.
Maybe.
Hey, if I wanted to kill you, this wouldn't be the way. Put your little blade away. You'll be all right.
I don't think I will.
All right. Well, at least get it out of my side. I have to turn that way. You lean as he turns and he leans. And he's like, ugh, come on.
I've been on a bike before.
I can tell.
You won't get stabbed. Unless you need to be.
Or unless I want to be.
Sure.
This is fun. He keeps the same speed.
Must be your mama at home.
He just laughs. He's just like, and he takes off. That's funny. I also laughed. As you guys keep trail on Darren and Clara, you do get taken into the inner city of Gary, but he's not, he slows down, right? Because there's traffic, but he's not slowing down to a location. He keeps pulling through. And you find yourself going past where you would think these alleys and byways are. And Darren kind of leans his head over to you, Claire, and he kind of tilts back and he goes, I'm going to take you to the place where Rangel and I first looked at. I think you guys may be able to find something there, and maybe I can get some clarity too.
You stop before we get there.
Stop where?
500 feet?
You gotta pee, or what do you?
No, but I don't want you just driving straight in there.
Oh, no. We're gonna go over there, and then we're gonna park and stuff. We're just not driving straight into someplace. You can't really where we went. So.
All right.
Okay. So you seeing anybody? And he just kind of like keeps driving forward. As you guys kind of see Darren starts to slow down, you're not in what you would think, or at least where you should be based on what Darren described. But you do pull up to what looks like a jail, a correctional facility. And then you see the sign, and it says that it is a correctional facility. And he parks right outside of it, and he goes, This is where the scent led us, or at least led Rangel initially. And he stops the car, he stops the bike, and he's like, you can get off now, so I can get off.
We'll wait for the others to get here.
Oh, no, I intend to, but again, the knife.
It's fine where it is.
You are just, I like, at that moment, the Land Rover pulls up, and you can see that Clara's got Darren at knife point, but he's just cheesing, having the time of his life as you pull up to the South Haven Correctional Facility. And he kind of puts his hands up while he's leaning against the bike, and he's like, so let me explain, right? I was telling your friend here that this is where we started, and it got kind of weird here. And then that led us, and I think there could be a connection. I'm trying to be helpful. Can you tell her to move this, please? Like, as he gestures to the knife.
No. I think she's
Paw
good.
just casually walks forward now, on 2 legs instead of 4.
Hey!
I think his eyes are still lupine, though, as he walks towards Darren. And he just says, so Rangel told you a lot about our pack, huh?
Yeah, a little stuff here and there. Yeah.
Did he also tell you that I walk in dreams?
Oh, yeah, you said that you had a, what did you say? A natural ability to the connection and the umbra. Yeah, it was something like that.
Did he tell you that my full name is Pause in Darkness? And that where I walk, darkness follows? Because I ain't afraid of the darkness?
No. Ooh. And he's very arrogant in this moment. He's like, that's cool, man.
Why'd you turn on him?
I didn't turn anywhere. I led y'all right here. What are you talking about?
Your battle buddy. Why'd you turn on Rangel?
Come on. Did you find that in your dream walking that I turned on him?
The spirits showed me exactly what happened that night. What happened to Rangel from his ass.
The spirits are a tricky thing, man. Right?
No, you are. The spirits are simple. And as he does that, he holds out his arm and Storm comes and lands.
All right, what's going on? What's going on here?
I just want to know why you did it. That's all.
I don't know what are you talking about? All right? Do you honestly think that everything you see in your dreams are straight from Gaia? Because if that was the case, then why are things the way they are? Right? Look at you have to smell it here. This entire city is riddled with the worm. And you think your dreams are gonna guide you to the what? To save Gaia and everything? Come on, man. It's about survival out here. Ain't nobody turn on no battle
He
button.
leans forward and draws in a very large. I smell it on you.
And he leans forward into you and he goes, "That's mesquite, buddy."
Hey, Darren,
Ah,
can I ask you a question?
you just did.
I'm going to ask you another one. Before I worked for the Environmental Protection Agency, I did a stint in the Census Bureau. And I was wondering, in the population here, which one would be the rooster? Because I figured out who the hens are. But I'm not clear on who the rooster is.
And he takes off in a sprint towards the correctional facility.
No.
I'm like, Nash.
I have the gift, Halt the Coward's Flight, and I will rip out a howl, and his speed is reduced to a walking pace.
Is
And I
there
run
a?
up to him.
Is there a?
Yeah,
Is there a
it's let's see, resolve plus honor versus composure and survival.
Okay.
So yeah, your composure and survival. Resolve. Okay. And I'm gonna use one of my rage die. 1, 2. Just 2 successes.
He's
That
got 3
including
on
the free one
his.
from the rage token.
Oh,
You just
okay.
said you were
Yeah.
spending a rage token, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Then that's 3.
So that's an automatic. So that's 3.
Got
3.
it. Okay.
Any ones?
No ones.
Damn. You can see in his sprint that it does slow down, and he's just like, "Fuck."
Where do you
All right,
think
come
you're
on.
going?
Nah, I don't know. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Come on. And before we go anywhere, and he turns and he looks at Paul and he goes, "I ain't fucking turn on anybody."
You're
I don't think Paw cares about anything else in this moment. He just tosses his arm up, lets Storm take flight, and he shifts back into Lupus form and starts walking towards Darren, growling menacingly.
It's beautiful. Now, I will say this, Nash, with your howl, right? You may have potentially alerted anybody within the area, right? Because we're in the middle of the city of Gary, and wolves aren't howling like that. I say that to say this. For those watching, rage points are used for any potential shifting. Of course, allowing Hamid to lupine freely is all good because that's Paul's natural state, and honestly, I don't really like to have to deal with that. But in order to shift into any other forms, you would need to spend rage. And in order to gain rage, a good old howl at the moon once per game can do so. If you want to do that, right now would be the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like to do that.
Just to ask for just so I understand it, can't you also shift one shift per using a standard action? So over time, you can shift between the forms to get all the way across the forms without having to spend rage. The rage just lets you do it like instantaneously, right?
That is correct. So, which is
Okay.
another reason why the Hamid to lupine thing, I just kind of like.
Well, yeah, your natural
you know what I
form. I know you can always
Right.
shift into your natural form.
But yes, no, you can gradually shift. If it were a longer campaign, then we kind of
Right.
dump into it. But with this,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Cool.
Alrighty. So, Nash, you get yourself a rage point. I'm not going to make you howl on stream because mics, but it
Thank
would be
you.
fun.
Just imagine it. It's
right.
good.
Clara, Warren, Paul?
Did Darren leave the keys in the bike?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
All right.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Gotcha. Is anyone else
I
howling?
mean, you
before
always
we
you
continue
always
forward?
put a knife in the tire.
That's true.
Yeah. He's also a Garu. He could just run. The bike is really more so for aesthetic, but that's just me.
Right now,
yeah,
if
no,
anyone-
I don't howl.
Yeah.
I'm not a howler.
Okay, so if anyone who's howling, of course, add a point of rage to your point. If you don't howl, that's all good. So yeah, so now you got Darren walking forward, and he's just like, I mean, I ain't turning nobody. Shit's weird here in Gary, and we're walking and talking. Shit's weird here in Gary. All right. And Rango's got this notion that everybody can be saved, that if you just sprinkle the world with a little kindness, reading rainbow bullshit, that it'll be fine. All right?
Excuse me?
Yeah, I get it, librarian. I know who you are. That's why I made the reference. But it's true. All right? The shit that we saw, the shit that we experienced, and then on top of that, who we are, there's not an amount of Mary Poppins sugar that you can sprinkle on this medicine of bullshit.
You don't know what I've seen, and Claire's gonna howl at the moon.
Oh. Ooh. This guy's really up his own ass. Content warning, maturity. Yeah, we're adults here. All right, fine. So you guys are continue walking forward, and he takes you to the front entrance of the correctional facility, and he's like, nah, not there. That's the obvious one. They're trying to retrofit this place into like some kind of touristy thing, like Alcatraz. Some crazy shit went down here. They're like halfway through it, and it's weird. And he's kind of just looking around, and he's like, but nah, it's over here. I assume I'll lead the way. And he just begins to walk. You all walk around the side of the building, and you can see that there is a area that's boarded off terribly, right? It's like one of those boarded slat pallet things that are kind of pushed together, and he just kicks it to the side, and he's like, this is where the initial scent took him, down this hole. Then he looks at y'all and he's like, well, allow me. Fuck.
I think as soon as Paw sees that hole, I think he starts going. I don't think he waits for Darren. Like as soon as Darren turns and starts talking, Paw just slips into the darkness of it because he's not afraid of that.
Yeah, and Darren is just like, all right. He's real.
Is it dark?
Like,
is it dark enough that he can be trying to sneak his way through?
Yeah, you can. Give me a, let's say what? Dexterity and stealth. Yes.
Stealth. 2 bonus for being in lupus.
And of course, 6 is always the target. 6 and above.
A 10, 2 9s, and an 8.
Ooh,
No ones.
Beautiful. Easily done, right? Paul, you are locked in, right? You can finally, lack thereof, see the light at the end of the tunnel because you're getting some answers. This is going to help find your friend. And like a National Geographic documentary of the wolf stalking its prey in the middle of the night. Paul, you are out here just tiptoeing through the tulips. You feel great. This is it, right? All senses are running wild. And with that stealth, it's a beautiful roll. Normally I do a wits and awareness. You can smell.
Does it matter that the rage die was the 10? Because one of my dice was a rage dice on that. So.
And that was the 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to give you this for that here. You notice on this tunnel that this is obviously man-made, but it is in a very deliberate pattern. And you're sensing a theme here. And you can smell it. That scent, that worm corruption. And the farther you go down, the stronger it is, the more you know that although this isn't right, this is the direction you have to go. Now, before Paul gets too deep in there, I assume everybody else is following. Is there a specific order?
I know Nash would follow closely behind, unless anyone shoved her out of the way. She would definitely follow. When I shifted, did I have to shift to a specific form, or could I choose which, like...
You didn't have to shift yet.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So you unless you choose to shift in this moment, no. So when you do, if you want to do a specific form, that's fine. Being that it could be a jump, you would just spend the corresponding rage points for that.
I was thinking of shifting to my lupus form, my original form.
Okay. Then that's a free shift for you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Because I think when Nash sees Paw go into the tunnel, things like click in her brain and she feels really good. She's felt not good for several days in a row now. And she changes back into her true form and her body feels right again. And she follows behind, loving the hunt and this work that they're doing together. And I'm also going to spend a willpower point. I have one of my gifts is the eyes of the owl, so I can see in complete darkness. So I know we've got some vision in the dark, but I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything as I follow behind Paw.
No worries.
I also have eyes of the owl.
Yeah.
Nice.
We all have eyes of the owl.
Yeah. Everybody got.
I don't know if Clara does, but well, Clara can have Storm's eyes. So Storm will fly down and land on Clara's shoulder and kind of direct Clara.
Okay, perfect. Is anybody doing anything else before we get deeper into
I think
the tunnel?
Clara would just turn to Warren and say, "Can you help me keep track of this unread fool and make sure he doesn't get away?"
Yeah, of course. Gotcha.
I think we'll flank Darren. Make sure that he comes with.
I'm coming. Y'all don't know where you're going, so.
I have some climbing rope from my truck. By yourself.
Don't do that. And he looks at you, and then you look at him, and in that moment you realize okay, yeah, maybe not.
then don't fuck around.
Okay, it's a single tunnel. Where am I? All right. Thanks for the hail, Raven. Beth, you got a hail. So as you guys make your way down into the tunnel, Paul leading the troop, that scent getting stronger. Nash, in your lupine form, you can now pick up on that as well. Clara and Warren, you smell it too, but for Paul and Nash, it is just it is you are toucan sanding yourself through this tunnel. Yeah, follow your nose. As you get towards the end of this spiral tunnel, you notice that there's a wide open spread area that gets a little bit brighter. Seems like this area is somewhat lit, albeit dimly. You all walk into this open area, and it does come out into what looks to be almost a ritualistic platform. And with that, you can see a very large statue, glowing small flame, two flames to where you can notice that the light of the room is coming from. And the scent is just permeating through this entire area. And that scent, it's not just the scent, it's a feeling. Paul and Nash, your lupine bodies are vibrating because you can feel corruption trying to enter your psyche, trying to pierce through your own personal veil. And it's nothing that you have to roll for, but you are fighting it. There's something here that's reaching out to you. It's gentle, but it's so strong. Clara, as you approach on this area, you can see that Darren is a little bit hesitant. He's still walking forward, but you can see that his pace slows. He's a little concerned in his movement. Small little twitches in his hand, and if you could give me a wits and awareness in this moment.
Would it be possible for Storm to grant any kind of boon to Clara, considering that wits is his primary skill? Or, I mean, awareness, rather, is his primary skill?
Normally, I would say yes. But being that the corruption in this area is so strong, you, Storm, everyone, you're more focused on deflecting what's trying to seep into your mind.
I got a 10, 2 6s, and no ones.
10, 2 6s, no ones. Darren is purposely slowing down to push you away from this area. But in this moment, you can 100% know that it's not because of any ill intent. It's because for some reason, he doesn't want you to go here. But we still push forward. When you all get into this open area and you all take a look at this statue that has this small glowing flame on it, you do see a small visage. It's a symbol of a wolf that is completely being surrounded by a serpent. It's funny because as Garu, you are in the ongoing battle against the worm. And this visage here sums up beautifully in an artistic form of the struggle that you all go through. And you can see, you can feel, you can sense that this is the source. And from out of nowhere, you hear someone just go. It took you all long enough. I did hope you liked my gifts. And from behind the statue comes a woman. Darker in skin, black. She has what looks to be maybe greased paint going across her face, but what's extremely noticeable is that her eyes are stark white. And as she moves from behind the statue, you notice that she's not facing you. I trust that your journey here was interesting. It's okay, you can come closer. And she's still not looking at you. And she beckons you to come near.
I think Paw starts slowly, still clinging to the shadows, slinking around sideways, coming closer, but to the side of the room, kind of flanking.
Nash will go the opposite direction and do the same thing.
Oh, it's fine. She kind of looks in the air. At this point, you do realize that she cannot see you. She can sense you. She is blind. And then it also kind of clicks to you, the Garu that you met with in Rangel. His full corruption took over his eyesight, leading him to blindness. It's fine, friends. You are all welcome here. I feel like you know who we are, but the Black Spiral Dancers, we are a pack of friends. It is okay. You're welcomed here. And she reaches her hands out, and you can take a look up, and on the top ledge of the stone, you can see other black spiral dancers poking their heads out in their globral form, all blind, patiently waiting. You all are just in time.
Paw is just growling as he sees all of this.
Clara, in this moment, Darren turns around and he goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry." And he takes his hat off, and you can see the spiral on the side of his head. And he kind of puts his hand over one of his eyes, and he pops out a full contact, and you can see one of his eyes is stark white, and he goes, "I didn't lie. I didn't turn on anybody. I was just trying to help." Friends, I apologize. I am Veronica. And I know that some of you are confused, but trust me, you are amongst friends. And I do know why you're here. Please, just one moment. And she gestures, and this large, hulking Garu comes out. Clara, you notice that you've seen this shadow before, and he comes on and he's like, "Oh, it's finally time for a meal." Same stained apron, same cleaver in his hand. This is the gentleman that approached you in the meat locker. And as he walks out, you see Rangel, tied, bruised, battered, and he tosses him on the ground.
I think as soon as Clara sees this butcher, she kind of snaps a little bit, and she snaps back to her former trauma and forgets where she is. And I think she takes the knife that she was holding and plunges it into the neck of Darren.
Ooh. You plunge the dagger deep into Darren's neck, and he doesn't fight you. He actually is smiling. And as he hemorrhages from his neck, he crawls forward to the center of the area right in front of the statue, and Veronica goes, "This is why." And she looks directly at you, Clara. "This is why. This is why you specifically were chosen. The rest of your pack, they were weak. They were confused. But you, I can smell it here. It's stronger now than it was when you were young."
Is she talking to Clara or to Rangel?
Specifically to Clara. She saw that happen, of her stabbing Darren in the neck.
Clara? You okay?
I don't think she can hear you. I think her eyes are black and she can't hear you.
It took so much for me to get you here. You are just a frustrating lot, and I had to reach out to places that I didn't really enjoy. And when she says that, from the other side of the statue, you do see an older gentleman. He's kind of got this raincoat, hoodie on, grayed out beard. Our little friend, bag lunch. He had a connection with your pack leader here, and we needed somebody to bring you. And she is still addressing just Clara. So there was only one way that we could get you here. Do you realize the gifts that you have been given? Do you realize the power that surges within this earth? And you can see her put her hands on the ground. You can feel it. You all can. All of us have. We just need you to accept.
Clara, step back. Back over here.
Claire, you have an opportunity to resist this. And I will say something. This is your one opportunity to resist this. If you could please roll a composure and a survival for me. No, I'm sorry. Composure and occult.
You have rage tokens.
If
Can
you
I-
have them right now would be the time to do that. Yeah.
Can I say something perhaps in the hope of helping Clara?
Let me know what you do.
We recently changed books and gave me Anne of Green Gables. I would like to say from that book, Clara, we all make mistakes, dear. You just put it behind you. We should regret our mistakes and learn from them, and never carry them forward into the future.
I got 2 successes and a 1, so 1 success.
Did you spend a rage token? Because that's okay.
With the help of Warren, I'm still going to grant an additional success because of the connection. But unfortunately, 3 is still not enough. Clara, you hear the voice of your friend. You hear the voice of Veronica, and you are aware of what's going on. You are taken back to the moment to where you lost your pack initially. Again, you can still smell it, and you can still hear it. You can feel the emotions from these people. And you are fighting. You are fighting the allure of this Black Spiral Dancer influence. In your first attempt, you're so clouded, your judgment, you're back there young, you're scared, you're afraid, everything's falling apart around you. Clara, what is your connection with Gaia?
It's like the Gaia is the one thing that has held Clara together since her previous pack was slaughtered. And I think she carries around herbs and things like pieces of, earth to keep Gaia close, and to maintain a connection with Gaia that way. And so I think her tangible connection is this little pouch of herbs that she has, that reminds her of this connection that she has with Gaia.
In a small moment, you reach your hand down to your patch. You can hear the gentle laughters of Veronica in the back, just going, yes, this is it, my friends. This is what we've been waiting for. And you can see the other Garu, the other Black Spiral Dancers start to growl. And you can hear this as they're pawing at the stone. And it's the vibrations. And it's getting deeper within this tunnel. And it's resonating between everyone. Paul, Nash, Warren. You can see as Darren crawls closer to the center, you now notice that there is an engraved carved spiral right in front of this visage of this statue, and as his blood seeps out into the spiral, it immediately sinks into the grooves, and it starts to fill in that pattern, and the vibrations go harder as you can hear just the stomps in the stone era. And you see Clara's hand go down to her side, and she pulls out her pouch, and she pulls out this very, very small branch. This small lavender plant. And in that moment, everything shifts. it slows down for you, Clara. Bullet time. The sounds, they're still deep and humming, but everything is slowing. And in this moment, you can reach out to one other person in your pack to bring them into this Umbra moment. Who are we reaching out to?
She's reaching out to Pa. Pa is the one who found her super injured and left for dead and basically catatonic with the grief and trauma she had experienced. And Pa was the first face that registered after everything. And I think instinctually she reaches out for that tether again.
Paul, you feel a tether reach deep into you. And everyone has a specific connection with Gaia, and these tethers are represented through that connection. How does this resonate with Paul in this moment?
I think it takes Paul out of the moment that he was experiencing, which is probably a good thing, because he had been moving around flanking, and as soon as he saw Rangel tossed onto the floor, he had been slinking along the edges to try to get behind the butcher with the full intention of leaping upon the butcher's back and tearing his throat out. And I think that this stops him. I think he finally, I don't think he was aware of what was transpiring around between this woman and Clara. And I think once the tether is pulled, he comes to the back into the moment and, you know, recognizes the importance of what was happening there. And I think his natural instinct is to use his spirit to help Clara in the moment. I have an idea for that, but I don't want to step on Deb's roleplay toes here with what she was thinking or whatever's transpiring.
Please.
So Paul knows spirits. We've already established that. He has lots of rights on summoning spirits, binding spirits, appeasing spirits, and all of that. He has specialties in etiquette for spirits and the like. So I feel like he knows how to piss spirits off. And I feel like in this space, there has to be some kind of malevolent spirit in proximity, or at least something that's kind of feeding off of the hostility of the place, even if it is a worm spirit. And I think I need for you to tell me what Paul could do in this moment and what checks I would need to make to thoroughly upset a spirit to get them to manifest and cause chaos. Because I think that that's what he would do.
Okay. And you know what? Roll a composure and an occult for me.
Can I do something?
I make an argument that it's resolve.
What's your argument?
That he is resolute in, like, he doesn't care about trying to do this the nice way. He just is trying to force his will into it.
Send it. I'm sold.
You were saying, Christian?
I was just saying, can I just do a little thing?
Yes and no, because Nash and Warren, you're not left out of this either.
I'm also spending a rage token on this too. So.
Heard. Go ahead, Bleak. What is it that we're knocking out?
I just wanted to take some magic mushrooms, reach in my pocket and swallow a bunch of magic mushrooms and Then kind of look at Nash and go, be ready to grab some people.
You were reading my mind, sir. Miko, what'd you get?
So both of my rage dice came up 10s.
Say no more. Say no more. What do you want to do? How does this formulate through Paul? You have rain. Both of your rage dice were 10s? Please.
Both of my rage dice were 10s, and I also had 2 other successes on top of the rage token that I spent. So I think that in this moment, he harkens back to the hurricane that tore through Louisiana 12 years ago, that he was in the middle of when he met Storm. And as that hurricane rolled through, he calls upon that nightmarish living memory that he has and wills that into the umbral space around to try and incite whatever worm spirit or other spirit might be occupying this space, in an effort to have them manifest the same effect in the space. It's like too enticing a memory for them not to follow through on.
Paul, you more than anyone know the levels in which power can manifest. And the strongest that you have seen, that you have experienced, has not been in the strength of a Garu, but just the strength of nature. It is unpredictable. It is dangerous, but it is so beautiful at the same time. And taking that memory, that experience, in the danger, in the power of what nature can do in the form of a hurricane, you take that and you send all of that to Clara, and it hits her. And it hits her as much as any wind in that storm, which brought you your storm, could have done. I'm going to put a small pin in that. Clara, you feel this, and you can feel yourself breathing again, and your eyes still stay black, but you are in full control. And in this moment, your tether extends out to Nash and to Warren. Nash and Warren, I would like for you to let me know how many rage points you have, and what do you have in either Hirano or Hablas?
I have 4 rage points and 1 Hoglask.
Beautiful.
I have 1 rage point and 1 Haran.
Beautiful. Nash, you muster every point of your being, and it's from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. You feel every ounce of rage in your heart. But again, power in Agaru is dangerous, but it's beautiful. And in this moment, you fully transform into your Krynos form, extending 10 feet tall, arms lurching out, teeth, fangs, claws gnashing. Warren, your job sucks. The people suck. And damn it, that fucking sucks. And I'm fucking tired of it. And I don't have time for this bullshit. Fuck these numbers. Fuck Gary. Fuck Gary, Indiana. I'm done. And you also begin to fully transform into your Krynos form. And in this moment, all this happens at the same time. Clara, you drop to your knees, eyes still stark black. You put your hands on the spiral circle. Nash, within an instinct of everything that you have, you pounce on this butcher and you lay right into their neck. Teeth, skin, claw, gnashing. Warren, you turn around and you look dead into Veronica's eyes. Paul, you look dead into Veronica's eyes. And as the both of you start your descent to her, you see Clara in her full Krynos form leaping across and takes an entire bite out of her face. In this moment, you can still hear the black spiral dancer, Garu, pounding the earth heavier and heavier, but then it goes distant and quiet and then becomes black. But that smell is still there. You all...
If I could add...
Please.
To that real quick, Ian. I think that once he sees Clara, Paw stops and feels like, since he's the only one not in Krynos form, he's the only one that has the wherewithal in this moment to do it. He goes to Rangel and just grabs him by whatever scruff, back of the neck clothing that he has, and starts dragging him out, using the chaos to try to get Rangel out of there.
As a heart warden should. Paul, you didn't want this responsibility because that's what Rangel is, but he saw something in you a very long time ago. Most people find, or Rangel finds most people. He didn't find you. You necessarily didn't find him. It's as if two old friends crossed paths once again and just continued a friendship that was never ending. Everyone knows. Paul's the wonderful older man that lives in the woods who helps out the local farm hands. And Rangel has that wonderful, scruffy older dog that just hangs out every time that they come into the shop. But people rarely know that that is a friendship that's everlasting. And in an effort to save your friend, the closest person that you have next to Storm, you drag him into the spiral tunnel. As Clara lays into Veronica, you can hear her laughters, jubilation in your head, and she whispers in your ear before her last breath, "Thank you." In this moment, you all are still in the spiral dancer's tunnel. The smell is waning, but the power is still there. And as you all gather your resolve, you look around. You don't see any of the other Garu, the Black Spiral Dancer corrupted Garu, but you also don't see that visage any longer. That wolf entangled with the serpent. As the camera pans behind the statue, while Clara was taking care of the Black Spiral Dancer Veronica, and as Paul was taking care of Rangel and Warren and Nash, just giving in to every single Garu urge as they protect the rest of their pack, you see another Garu, bag lunch, taking the idol and escaping down a back tunnel, heavy breathing, tired, still full of that deep insect corruption, making his way to his own little hideout deeper into Gary, Indiana. And that, my friends, is our story.
Woo, buddy.
Fuck you, Ian.
That was so good.
change, the seed of every epic, the heart of every lore. Legends are not just tales, they're experiences lived and shared. Every voice adds to the legend, every moment becomes a memory. Folk and Myth.